not having friends is a far more cruel life of not having money. Having liberal parents is a far more privilege than having wealthy parents. A taste of freedom will make you unemployable. Startups don't shut down when we run out of money, right? We only shut down when we get exhausted, when the founder gets exhausted. So we undermine the number of bad things that happens and overmine the number of good things that happens. The only thing that I think I can do is wake up every single day. It's a very uncertain thing, right? What's in front of us. But wake up every single day, sit on the desk and work. The first people that you have to talk to about your idea is the people that you're solving for. Not that of your friends and family. If I can erase the mistakes of my past, I will lose the wisdom of my present.
Thank you so much, Tharun, for joining the podcast today. You've taken the time to travel all the way from Coimbatore for this, and I'm deeply grateful for you to taking the time out. So in the typically next 50 minutes to 1 hour, we try to capture the raw, unfiltered journey of founders, especially you navigating the early stage chaos, because at that point of time, there's a lot of skepticism and ambiguity, right? And you navigating it will build you the momentum for you to build it in the long term, right? So we try to navigate what each steps were, what decisions you took in each direction, and how does someone typically survive that entire first 100-day, right? Because when you're building a startup in the beginning, every business operates with a personality, and more often than not, the personality of the business is an extension of the founder themselves, right? So we typically try to capture that, and we typically try to find out and learn from you that how your decisions impacted your startup and hopefully inspire someone to start something along the way. So that's the brief of the startup. Let's start with your early life. Where were you born? How were you brought up? And all of that.
Yeah. Thank you. Very kind of you, Arun. Thanks for having me here. It's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you.
So yes, I am from Coimbatore. So I was born up until my 25 years of age. I spent all my life in Coimbatore. So Coimbatore is deep rooted into me.
You can see that.
Yeah. So my schoolings were in a very small school near my home. It's a school where it's known for its brand name, but it's not the top tier one in the city. So I was put up in the school, spent 14 years there. I was this mischievous, notorious kid where all the teachers hated me, but did academically well.
Nice.
To some extent. When it came to, let's say, academia, all the teachers have very high hopes on my academia, but for some reasons I underdelivered. So in all the school exams, I'll be in the top 10, top 5. When it came to the public results, I will not be anywhere in the top 50 even. So this is the reason, because I did a lot of mischief. No teacher wanted me to be friends with any of my classmates. So I was a rebel. When I see something that's not right, I get up and question. Because of me, a lot of my friends have went to the principal's room. Their parents have been called, my parents have been called for a lot of reasons. Not once, I don't think. I'll give you an example. I was the school people leader in my school. So democratic elections happen. People come and vote. So accidentally, I was elected as a school people leader.
You were famous.
Yeah, I was always the famous school kid. So when calling for the chief guest of our school of the alumni, my school invited everyone who was the SPL after me and before me. They just skipped me. Because I was a bad example for students.
Even this dragon movie vibes from you.
Even today, the teachers call me and ask, do you know anyone who's qualified to be a chief guest? But they don't want me to come. But I'm not, I don't want to be there, but still, this is what's happening. So I grew up I had a very vibrant childhood in terms of playing a lot of sports. I love team sports. I have literally played all the sports that we used to from cricket, football, throwball, handball. I have participated in all these sports, did decently well. Most of these were self-taught. There was not a big sporting culture in our school. All of these were self-taught. Seeing or playing FIFA or seeing cricket, we were self-taught. I did decently well in sports. So and then I did my schooling there, and I when I was 6th standard, I decided I have to do engineering.
It's very early.
Because I saw my father being an engineer. He was a mechanical engineer. He was running a very small scale industry in our city, which Coimbatore is known for. So seeing him, I always wanted to get my engineering degree, but I was very fixated on doing automobile. I don't know why. Maybe the fascination for cars. When my 12th results came, I didn't do well. I got like 80ish percentage. I asked my dad, "Can you put me in Amrita?" He told, "No, definitely not. Whatever college you get on your own marks, you can go and join."
Okay.
So there was this college in Coimbatore. I went and joined. So
And you pursued mechanical.
yeah, I took mechanical engineering.
Okay.
Had I taken any other course other than mechanical, I would have either dropped out or I would have abandoned my home and went elsewhere. So
Okay.
it's either mechanical or nothing. So it was something like
Okay. So quite passionate about choosing mechanical
yes,
engineering.
yes. For some reason, those concepts went into my head very easily compared to any other concepts.
Because since you've exposed to that environment very
Correct.
early on in the age.
Yeah. I spent a lot of time with my dad, talking with other his clients, spending time with them. So those all. So in college, in second year of college, I saw this movie called Social Network.
Yeah.
It's very famous. So you see a naive kid with zero knowledge of anything seeing a movie like that, it inspired me to do something.
Okay.
So I had a nerd friend in college.
Okay.
He pitched me the idea of starting something called a renting marketplace inside college.
Okay.
Where you could lend me something, I could buy it from you.
Okay.
But that was only inside our college.
Okay.
So this was my school to college journey. So when I went to college, I stopped playing a lot of sports. Because I didn't find time. My friends are all scattered, so I didn't spend enough time participating in sports. I also injured many, so that didn't help me get into sports a lot.
Okay.
So this happened in school to college. One good thing is I'm still friends with the same people that I had like 10 years ago.
Nice.
So I have never changed my friends group.
How important is that?
I think it's very important. I think it's super important.
Why do you say so?
Whatever that I am today, like 50% of the person that I am today was shaped by my friends. They are very critical about whatever that I come up with. Even the startup ideas that I'm having today, they're very critical about it. So when they keep on doing that, your character develops. So I still believe not having friends is a far more cruel life of not having money than not having money. I still believe
Fabulous.
that.
Okay.
So like when I said I had a vibrant childhood, I had everything in when I was a kid. Like my parents were not strict. I can go out and play anytime. I'll do my homeworks on time. So only thing that I didn't have was access to materialistic possessions compared to the people around me. So that was the only downside I had during my childhood. I always looked up to someone and say, "Hey, he has a PS5, he has a gear cycle, or he has a latest computer."
Did that subconsciously increase your need and wants for you wanting more in life?
Yeah, but when I was a child, that happened. But right now, that has evolved. When I was a kid, I wanted a lot of materialistic possessions. But one good thing, without having those, I was always fit into a group. People didn't think that I didn't have anything. I was always part of a group. The cool kid in school, not being left out of anywhere. The first person someone can call me and ask something. So that happened. So people loved me for the person that I am than for what that I had. Nice. So I'll teach them a lot of subjects. I'm decently good at maths and science, so I'll do KT. I'll help them in a lot of areas.
Nice.
So this was like okay childhood. I definitely didn't have any childhood drama. Like definitely not. Apart from being a rebel in school, no child. My parents were very kind. They adjust a lot of things for me. Even my sister, my parents, my friends, they adjust a lot of things for me. Be it inside home, be it outside home. So they always kept me very pampered. But still, I always had a feeling that I am not being materially satisfied enough than I should be. Let's say I want a PS5, PS3 or something. I never got it. But the people around me, they still had. So that was the only downside from my childhood. But when I went into college, I decided I had the power to change this fate. I somehow knew that. I was very determined that I can change this.
Was this how your idea for the rental marketplace started?
No, definitely not. Coming to that, someone who saw a movie got inspired by it, wanted to do something in tech.
So you're just inherently passionate about building something.
Correct.
That was what inspired you to start the business.
Yes.
So how did that go?
That went decently well. First time trying to build tech, me and my nerd friend convinced few juniors.
He was the one who coded?
No.
You come from mechanical engineering backgrounds. How did you do that?
Yeah. So what we did, we go and convinced a few juniors from computer science department, pitched them the idea. We asked them to code a very basic version of the platform. They even did that, but it was HTML CSS coded. It was very basic.
This was during your second year in college?
Second year to third year of college.
Okay.
Right before COVID happened.
Okay.
So this was happening. We came with the platform live. We also came with a lot of validations that no product should go outside of the campus. So how we thought was each college is a cluster.
Okay.
So no product should go outside of the cluster or come inside the cluster. Okay. So that's how we did a lot of validations. We had a few signups, a few transactions that we did, and we shut it down eventually because all of us came back home after COVID. During COVID.
Yes.
We had to shut down. And my nerd friend also, he went to pursue his CA exams.
Okay. So was he no nerd friend outside the college?
No, he was the same class as I was.
Okay. So he did CA after mechanical?
Yes.
Nice. Okay.
A little weird, right?
Yeah.
So he did
unheard of.
Yeah. So he did that because his dad was a CA. So he did that. So I was still trying to do stuff. In third year of college, all this placement stuff happened, right?
Yeah.
People get ready for their next stage of career.
Yeah.
So two things were happening. I was very much trying to move to the US because a few friends inside my college are trying to do that. For some reason, I was sold the American dream by them. The American lifestyle, how we can get into tech, earn a lot, buy cars quickly than the peers in India. I was sold to that. I did zero research on my own. I was influenced by whatever dream that they were talking.
By that time, were you interested in pursuing a career in tech?
Yes.
Okay. How did that change? Because you were passionate about mechanical engineering, right? So
the social network happened, rental happened, and meanwhile COVID happened. So between COVID and rental, all this were happening.
Okay.
I joined GRE. I was preparing for the exams.
Okay. So you're aggressively preparing to get.
Yeah.
Okay.
I somehow convinced my parents to put me in a coaching class. So this all happened, and then. So the college was pressuring us to sit for placements. So randomly one day I woke up, someone who didn't know what I'm going to do next. I don't know if I'll even crack the GRE exams. I came with a white paper, asked my dad to sign it. He asked, what is this? I told I am dropping out of placements. He just signed it and gave it to me. He didn't ask why. He didn't ask what are you going to do. He asked nothing. Even I was shocked by whatever that he did. And I asked, he told, you might be having something. You need not say that to me. Let's see where you're going, is what his mindset was. So a father who's very cared of his child still needs someone to provide for the family, decided to do this. I was very, very shocked when he did that. So I quit placements. Probably one of the first person in the college to do that, and among my friends to do that. Everyone thought I had like big dreams rather than placements, but I had nothing. To be honest, I had nothing.
Did that act of your father give you confidence, or did that scare you more?
It gave me a lot of confidence. It gave me a lot of ownership that I have to do something now. Someone is trusting you.
The ownership didn't intimidate you for a brief bit?
Sorry?
Did that ownership scare you a bit?
It definitely did. It definitely did. With the ownership came a lot of fear too. Will we able to, before thinking will be able to, what am I going to do? That fear crept in. Then COVID happened.
So you had no clue, but you just went and told your father to drop out of place.
I was an idiot back then. I would never encourage anyone to do that.
Okay.
So COVID happened. During COVID, my life flipped 180 degree because I consumed a lot of books. consumed hell a lot of books. The first book I read was like this book written by I think some Rishabh Agarwal or something. How I tricked Anu Aunty and co-founded $1 million startup.
It's Varun Agarwal.
Varun Agarwal, correct. Varun Agarwal.
That eventually got made into a movie also.
Correct.
Yeah.
So that's the first book I read. So COVID happened on 22 March.
Yes, I remember that.
21st March, in like 3 hours, I sprinted that book.
Okay.
It was very interesting. So eventually, I spent a lot of my time reading. I didn't watch series. I didn't watch movies. Most of my time reading. The books that I read were very different. Like anyone would do. Like I read 0 to 1. I read the hard things about hard things.
Hard things. Yeah.
So I read that. And these are few books that I read. People recommended me reading this. My nerd friend recommended me reading that. So I read a lot of stuff, and for some reason I started exploring the web. The first time I'm exploring a web. Like I didn't give access to a personal computer until I was like in my second year of college. There was one computer which my sister used, and after that she passed on it to me.
Okay.
So that was the first time that I had a computer on my own. So when I read a lot, I was somehow sold to the Indian narrative.
Okay.
Even before the Indian narrative was very mainstream in 2020, I was very much sold to it. I believed India is the place to be in for the next rest of my life.
What do you believe so? What is a strong belief?
I felt we are in a place where America was in the 1990s. Technologically, we are evolving. A lot of things are changing. People are starting up.
Did any particular thing inspire you to do? To take this step?
No, the things that I consumed cumulatively shaped me into that.
Okay.
Maybe they tricked me into do that.
Okay.
So the American dream sold by my college mates versus this things that I consumed on my own, this was much powerful to me. I found it very interesting to stay back in India.
Okay.
I decided that let's drop the idea of going to the US.
Okay.
Plus, one very important reason was the ROI that I would get back after doing a master's. I felt that was not worth it. The amount of money and time that you're going to invest, plus the family had to wait another 3-4 years for me to financially contribute to them. That didn't make sense to me. So I decided let's not go to the US. Let's figure out something on my own in India. So I went and told to my dad I'm doing this. He told, I'll give you 2 years time after you finish college. I'll give you 2 years time. In the 2 years you can literally try anything that you want.
Okay.
I'll not ask you what you're doing. I'll not ask you to contribute to the home. I'll not ask you where you're going. You can try your hands on it, but at the end of 2 years, you should definitely have some clarity on what you're going to do for the rest of your life.
Perfect. Nice.
He gave me this freedom. So that is when I believed my parents are not wealthy, but I felt having liberal parents is a far more privilege than having wealthy parents. So they gave me the freedom to try a lot of things. So the first thing that I did, by like any stupid person in COVID, I tried trading the stocks.
A lot of people say the same.
I did that. Made a lot of money, lost everything.
So you had significant amount of capital to put in the beginning?
What happened, very fortunately, the childhood savings that me and my parents were putting in on my account matured when I turned 20 or 21.
Yeah. Okay.
So that happened. So I got few $1.5 lakh to my account. I
invested in stock.
I invested, traded, did a lot.
How did that go?
Things. Yeah. Like I said, I made a lot of money. I lost everything.
Okay.
At the end, it was a net negative P&L.
Okay.
So I literally lost all the capital that I had. I went to a lot of anxiety cycles. So this happened.
Did that teach you a lot?
Definitely taught me a lot. Before even starting to trade or invest, I again consumed a lot of books. I read 4 or 5 books. There comes a lot of YouTube videos. I religiously watched YouTube videos, followed a few people. I would still ask me every single time, this is what I aspire to do for the rest of my life. Every time I asked that, the answer was no. No, I don't aspire to be a trader for the rest of my life. No. What I aspire to be, I still aspire to do something in tech, solving a problem. That is what I aspire to be. So one day I decided, let's stop all this trading stuff. I decided, okay, what next? That is when I found this concept called product management.
Yeah.
It was a very, very famous concept back in the 2021 era,
Yeah.
where the idea of product management was sold, where you could earn a lot of money in tech without having the knowledge to code.
Knowledge to code. Yeah.
So
That was how it was. The
yes,
field was sold.
yeah. So all the edtechs raised a lot of capital, sold this idea to a lot of people like me. I became a victim to that, and I took a course from one of the leading edtechs in the country. So what I did, I still had a few bucks left in my stock trading account.
Okay.
I converted this 2 lakhs into an EMI. I started pursuing the course. So I paid some money, pay the EMIs. That was the only thing I was doing back then. So it definitely made me a better thinker. It gave me a lot of exposure.
The course?
The course.
Okay.
It definitely made me a good product person. But the idea for which I took the course was so that I could venture into some small startup as an APM, as an associate product manager.
Okay. So you wanted to get into a job after the course?
Yes. That's the reason. Because I decided trading is not going to work. Before I get my next idea, before I figure out what I'm going to do, let me take a temp job.
Yeah.
So I thought the course would help me do that. I finished the course. I was in the top 5 people who completed the course.
Was it all online?
Fully online.
Yeah.
I had a lot of chances to interact with mentors from all leading startups: Google, Microsoft, Swiggy, Razorpay. So a lot of knowledge, a lot of learnings from them, and eventually applied for a lot of APM jobs. Rejected out from every single one of them. So I applied for like 50-60 jobs. Everything was a personalized email, personalized LinkedIn message.
Okay.
I got rejected from all of it. Luckily, one founder, he reached out to me on LinkedIn, said, I was writing online on LinkedIn. I was writing about my product management learnings. The founder reached out to me and told, why don't you come and join our startup? We are a small startup based off Coimbatore. They are just closed their pre-seed round. We're looking for an APM for our product division. So I thought, why not take it? So I took the job. It was in Coimbatore. I went to their office every single day. But what I realized was they were into manufacturing tech.
Okay.
Their entire business is between some suppliers in Coimbatore and some buyers across the country.
Okay.
So my first understanding was they didn't need a product in the first place. They didn't need a tech product,
in the first
because
place.
their entire business could be run on an Excel sheet.
Yeah.
They were doing that, and they're doing that very, very efficiently. The business was thriving. Excel was doing their purpose. They didn't need a product in the first place, because even if you built the product and went, the vendors in the city would not accept it. Because I've closely worked with those people through my father, and I know what would be their adoption rate.
Yeah.
So I figured that's not going to work out for me. So I quit from there. And still I was clueless what to do with life.
How long were you a part of the startup?
Part of like couple of months.
Okay.
Just couple of months.
Okay.
November and December of 2022.
Okay.
And 2022 was very, very interesting year for me. I did a physical body transformation. I went from 25% body fat to 10% body fat.
Nice.
It was a 9-month journey. I learned a lot in that. I did the transformation. It went very well in the first 4 months. I hurt myself. I had to rest for 4 weeks. Lost all my gains. Started from square one again. That thought itself, it really made me a better person. I was going through a lot back then. I thought gym was the only companion that I had in life.
Was it due to a breakup?
Yeah, definitely was due to a breakup.
Figured that out.
A naive kid. Yeah, I can do that. I was a naive kid. I didn't know how to handle it.
Yeah.
The only thing that I had to went out was at the gym. It worked out well for me.
We were all inspired by Varnamairam, no?
Varnamairam was one inspiration. Even thinking of that inspiration, I want to do something. I want to went out. I want to go sit in a corner and cry. So gym made me do that. I was not able to sleep, but I went to the gym. I had to sleep. My body was tired.
Yeah.
So That happened in 2020. So 2020 was a very, very interesting year for me. It flipped me as a person. I read a lot of, let's say, I read a lot of philosophy, all the stupid things someone who goes through a breakup, they do, right?
Yeah.
So they are journaling, they start going for runs.
Yeah.
I have done all the stupid things. So it happened, and 2023 happened. I still don't know what to do with life. Every single
So you
day,
quit from your job?
yeah, quit from my job. I didn't tell my parents. I didn't tell my friends.
Okay.
One day, my parents figured out that I am not part of their job. They didn't tell anything. Still, they didn't tell anything.
Okay.
I wanted to ask them what's going to remain, but I don't want to ask and sabotage it. So I left it. So every single day I wake up, it's like, life என்னதாண்டா பண்ண போற? What are you going to do with your life? I don't know what I'm going to do. So interestingly, I found a very different job post on Twitter.
Okay.
It was from from a company called Tech Rooster. They were looking for a startup narrative strategist. Okay. I have never heard of this role before. I went into the job profile. I read through their job description. They wanted someone to write stories for startups who are raising funds.
Okay.
Ultimately trying to sell a narrative to an investor.
Okay.
Particularly for startups raising a series A, B, C rounds.
Okay.
Definitely not pre-seed or seed or anyone in that, or pre-series A.
Okay.
Only A, B, C rounds. So
this is like a consultancy that.
Yeah.
Okay.
They are a consultancy, so they specialize in investor decks.
Okay.
So I don't know what this job is, but I found it very, very interesting.
You found it on Twitter?
I found it on Twitter.
Is it India based?
Yeah, they are based out of India. They're based out of Chandigarh.
Okay.
The team was fully remote.
Okay.
So I applied it. Went to 2 rounds of interview. The third round, the founder appeared. I did that well. I got the job. They paid me very well. They paid me very good. Like, they paid me 12 LPA. That I was very shocked by it. I didn't have any enough experience. I haven't worked in a role. I haven't done anything related to that. But they were ready to take the bet on me. When I went to the team, I realized I was the only non-IIT, non-IIM person to be part of the team.
Okay.
I feel very insecure to me. They were all brilliant thinkers. They were all like very smart people. Not because they went to the college, but inherently they were smart. They understood things at a very, very deep level. I learned a lot from them. So they gave me a few reading resources that I should consume so that I could do better at the job. So they were like hundreds and hundreds of blogs, books that I sprinted all those things because I found it very interesting. I was like, there's this book called Numbers and Narratives. I'm not sure if that is written by Ashwath Damodaran. So I read that book. I was like, why didn't I read this book long back? Why is it only I'm reading it now? So that again made me a better thinker. It exposed me to the world of startups to much deeper level than I was exposed. Like, I was in an echo chamber inside my room reading books, but when I interacted with those people, I found that there's a different new world. So they all work with startups who are going to be unicorns. So the project that I worked on, I had the chance to work on, became a unicorn recently.
Nice.
So that happened. So
what is your role like typically in the startup?
So what you have to do, we have to sit with the founders. It's like 3-4 hour long call. Only the founder, not anyone from the team.
Okay.
We have to try to understand their business at a very foundational level.
Okay.
They tell what happens from day to day. From the day one, they narrate everything. How they came with the idea, what prompted the do, until yesterday what happened. They run us through every single thing. So we record it, take notes of it, and try to bucket all these stuff into whatever categories that we had. Is it a technology problem? Is it a team problem? Or is it an operation problem? We try to bucket everything in that. And we give a perspective to the startup saying, hey, you are not solving for this. You are a company who's solving for this. This is how you should position yourself. For example, when they gave me KT, they told Zomato is not a food delivery company. They are a company that offer jobs to gig workers. That's a different positioning to them.
Yeah.
We think Zomato is something that matches us with the restaurant.
Yeah.
But there's also a perspective that they offer create a lot of job opportunities to gig workers, unskilled people. So this is some
a narrative to sell to the investors also.
Correct. Because I was going very comfortable. They paid me well. They gave me a Mac. They even offered me if I could do a home office setup. There was no fixed work timings. There was no leave policy. But still, for somehow, I wanted to contribute a lot to the job that I was working on. I've become very comfortable. I didn't like that. I definitely didn't like that. Every day I would still get up and think, what am I going to do with your life? Because the things that you're doing now is not what you want to do with the rest of your life. Maybe if this job is making me comfortable, I should go and try to do something else. So because of this, I didn't do much well in the job than they expected out of me. So one day I thought, let me call it quits. They told they can train me, they can make me a much better person for this job, because I had the DNA to deliver but still lacked the experience. They told we can do that, but I felt this is not working out for me, so I quit. So I had like 3 months of personal runway left with me. I could survive for the next 3 months without having a job. That is when I was on the side brainstorming the idea of something called Record. But the name didn't exist back then. I was brainstorming a lot of ideas. Record was one such idea. I decided let's take the plunge and go start building the startup that I'm very fascinated about. So the idea of Record came because I had a very personal problem that I encountered.
Okay.
To put it in the right words, I am a person who's driven a lot by curiosity. All the things that I have done in my life, no one asked me to do it. Even it's good or bad, I did it. I figured out if it's good or bad. I decided to do it or not to do it. So this is how I have come in life. For someone like me, I do also a lot of self-learning from the internet. Now, what skills do I have? What skills do Tharun have? What job is Tharun qualified for? I didn't know. Even if you want to apply for a job, I didn't know what jobs to apply. What skills I didn't know what skills I had. Then I went and spoke to a lot of people who are of my age, who are little younger to me, who graduated college. Forget about the job that you're doing. Forget about the placement offer that you got. Forget about that. What skills you really have? Tell me that. 90% of the people didn't know what skills they have. They're literally clueless. They are either ready to do a job that they're given to them, or they wanted to go and do a master's. Let someone tell me what to do, I will do it. This is what happened. But I found an insight where these kind of people were inherently curious about a lot of things in life. They went and did it on their own. For example, someone in the EC department would be very much interested in video editing. He would be consuming a lot of stuff from YouTube, trying to edit videos. He would have tried to grow an Instagram page. He would have like 10-15k followers with his editing. And I also found good writers who are having their own blog posts, who sitting in a civil engineering department writing their own blogs. So whatever that they are learning was very divergent from what their curiosity led to. So I thought, if we can backtrack all these learnings, all the stuff that they are doing on their own, and try to assign them skills, they can go and follow the roles that they are naturally inclined at.
Fair.
So if you can do that for me, I consumed a lot of copywriting, content writing resources when I was in college. So if someone had backtracked that to me, they would have said Tharun is a good copywriter. Tharun can write better emails. Tharun can write website copies. I have written a lot of freelance website copies to my friends, to my close network of people. So charging them minimum, giving them very good website copies. This was an inherent skill that I had. So if you had backtracked all these things, we would have surely found out what skills each individual had. And then on a recruiter on the other side, they can hire them based on the skills that they have rather than any other vanity metrics.
And they'll also have a body of work.
Correct.
To see.
Correct. They will also have proof of work. They will also have the skills that they are naturally inclined at. A lot of such examples. A very recent example is one. A user from Record, we tracked his user behavior. Every 2 hours he was spent he spent upskilling through YouTube. He was learning Python and Django on his own. He's he went to a Tamil medium college in the outskirts of Tanjavur or something, but very curious into tech. No one didn't tell him to learn Python. He decided Python is something that he wants to learn. He was consuming through YouTube. We found his user behavior. He had skill badges from Record. A recruiter was able to find him. So these are the kind of personalities that I'm talking about.
Okay.
So skills first economy is what I was looking at.
Nice.
So
how do you go about? Initially it's a thought, and then you go about validating the idea, right? So how did this thought evolve?
So the first idea was, it was all about skills.
Yeah.
We have to find some way. The core idea was skills. We have to find some way where we can backtrack people's learnings and their curiosity, and we can assign them skill badges. This is what the idea was, but I don't know how to do that. And I pitched this idea to Akshay, who's my co-founder today.
Okay.
Akshay was another person with this DNA.
How long did you know Akshay before?
I know Akshay before pitching this. I know Akshay for 1.5 years. 1.5 years. Yeah.
Okay.
We met in a startup networking event. So that's how I.
Can you name the event?
Yeah, sure. It's called Tamilpreneur from. They are based out of Chennai, but they came to Coimbatore.
Sham.
Yeah, Sham runs it. So that's a funny story how I met Akshay. So before all this happened, I also went to the Shark Tank India.
Yeah, I was about to ask you about that.
So Shark Tank India, like I saw Shark Tanks coming to India. I watched a lot of episodes from the US, UK. If I'm not wrong, Australia also runs a different show. I watched a lot of episodes. Why not apply? So I have been tinkering with a lot of ideas when I was in college. One such idea was trying to solve for parking. I found out parking is going to be a very big problem in the future. We don't have enough parking spaces. What if we can solve for parking through vertical structures? Either a vertical structure is owned by an institution, nothing is available for public use. Back then in 2020 or 2021. If we can find a way to get these structures up, and we can make money, it's a very, very naive idea. This is the idea that I applied on Shark Tank.
Okay.
So I was a very naive person, had zero knowledge on anything.
How old were you back then?
I went to Shark Tank in 2021. So I applied on idea in 2020. So I was like 19 to 20 years old.
Okay.
At that time. So it was like 3 rounds of online application. You have to type it out and send it out. The 4th one was on phone call. And the 3rd one was on the phone call. And the 4th one, I had to appear in person in Bangalore.
Okay.
So I didn't have a company, I didn't have anything, I didn't have a team. It was just an idea on paper. It was not validated. But I came with a mock-up of how things are going to look like.
Okay.
I convinced one of my friends who's an architect. I told her, this is my idea, can you do a mock-up? She did a visual motion of how things will look like. I came up with the idea. So basically I was that erect these vertical parking structures, cover them with ad boards, digital ad boards.
Okay.
So ideally our early model will be from these ad boards, what Times Square is doing. So we can give, even if you give it for free, the parking spots, you'll still be making money from these digital ad boards. So that was the idea. So I went to Bangalore, pitched, like we had a panelist to pitch. That got over. After I came out of the shoot, it was a proper shoot.
Okay.
They did a shoot with me. So I pitched the idea. When that was over, they asked me if I can speak or understand Hindi.
Okay.
Because this is a show that's going to go in Sony Live. Mostly target towards the North Indian audience. So for that reasons, can you do it in Hindi? Whatever that you do here, can you do it in Hindi? I told no, I have never learnt Hindi. For the first time, I regretted my parents used to push me to learn Hindi. I told no. So for the first time I regretted that. I told sorry, I could not do that. That's fine. I can always take a shot at next thing. So Shark Tank India happened. So Tamilpreneur happened after the Shark Tank India show. So I went to Tamilpreneur, met Akshay there. When I still I was discussing about all this stuff in Tamilpreneur, and Akshay was the one who came out to me and told, Tharun, instead of thinking this way, why don't you think in that way about your parking idea structure?
Okay.
I find Akshay is like 3 years younger to me.
Okay.
3 years younger to me. He like Akshay and I are more like the same people but different skill sets.
Okay.
So why don't you think in this way? I told a really nice idea. Maybe I have dropped that idea now because I went and told one of the founders in Coimbatore that I have this idea. What should I do next? The first question he asked was, Tarun, do you have like 100 crores with you? I told no.
Okay.
Do you think I have 100 crores? I told no. You don't look like you have 100 crores. I don't know if he has 100 crores or not, but I don't think you have 100 crores. Yes, that's what you should understand. Even at 100 crores, we can't execute the idea that you are having.
Okay.
So that is the kind
because
of...
it was a very capex heavy model.
Correct.
The structures.
Yeah.
Okay.
That is the kind of naive person I was back then. So every stupid thing that I did made me a little
sharper.
No, little less idiot than that I'm in today.
Okay.
I'm still idiot today, but little less than what I was back then.
Okay.
So I dropped that idea, and then Frigate happened, and then Decroster happened.
Okay. So this happened right after COVID?
Correct.
Shark Tank happened
right after
during COVID.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I graduated in 2021.
Okay.
July. I went to Shark Tank in August 2021.
Okay. It was immediately after.
Yeah.
Okay.
Immediately after my graduation. So that happened. Coming back to the idea that I pitched Akshay.
So you knew Akshay from the Tamilpreneur event?
Yes.
So you were constantly in touch with Akshay after that point?
If you can ask for what reasons, he was a WordPress website developer.
Okay.
He was self-taught.
Okay.
He self-taught himself WordPress web development. He designing, he self-taught. Some kind of performance marketing, he self-taught himself. I was a copywriter, content writer. I used to write blogs, website copies.
Okay.
We used to exchange freelance gigs.
Okay.
If I take a content writing project, I
used to develop the website.
Yes.
Nice.
I used to upsell the website to the client, and he used to develop it. Same happened on his side. We used to exchange a lot of gigs between us.
Okay.
So in terms of transaction money, we found ourselves comfortable. You are giving me something, I am giving you something. We have a very mutual transactional relationship. Still, we are both of us were like, he used to pitch me a lot of ideas. I used to pitch him a lot of ideas. We found all the ideas not going well enough, or they were all like very stupid ideas. Trying to do copy a model from the West and trying to implement here. The ideas were like that. Even on point, Akshay even had an idea very similar to Byju's.
Okay.
An edtech company that sells devices. The device is their money, but disguised as an edtech company. Yeah. So a lot of things that you have brainstormed. But when I pitched record to him, even before he found it a good idea, he could resonate with himself. So that is the first thing happened to both of us. It is the problem that we are trying to solve for ourselves, for both me and Akshay. Had record existed when we were in college, we would have surely figured out what to do with life.
Yeah.
Or at least someone could have come and told us, hey, you have this skill set, why don't you pursue your career in this area? Someone could have told that with the enough data that we are trying to...
So when you pitched record to Akshay, was he still in college at the given point?
No, Akshay was working in a cyber security firm.
Okay.
I told you that Akshay dropped out of college. Okay. He did his diploma. He had to drop out due to his family situations.
Okay.
He was forced into employment at very young age. He was working in a cyber security firm. And that was the time I pitched him this.
Okay.
So he was middle of switching jobs.
Okay.
He was quitting the job and he joined a digital marketing agency in Coimbatore. He was middle of that. So that's when I pitched him this. The idea was very, very raw. We didn't know what was the outcome. We didn't know anything.
At that time, had you quit your job at Decroster?
I quit.
Okay.
I quit it in March. I got a job in Jan 2023. I quit it in March 2023.
So 3 months?
3 months, yeah.
Okay.
So I have only been formally employed for only 5 months of my life.
Okay.
The Frigate was 2 months, Decroster was 3 months. Both I and the employer had very poor experiences. Like they spent a lot of money in hiring me. I mean, when I say money, time and effort also. Yeah. that counts. So I don't think I'm a very good. I don't think I'll ever be a good employee.
Okay. Why do you say so?
For the person that I am, being employed always keeps me impatient. I don't know why. Another thing, I had like during my freelancing days, I had experienced some freedom to do stuff on my own. Not that I didn't have the freedom on my job, but I had a lot of freedom to do stuff on my own. So there is this famous quote, right? Like, a taste of freedom will make you unemployable. So, for right or wrong reasons, I tasted that freedom very early. So even today, for me, going and getting a job scares me than the thought it scares the employer.
Okay.
So to anyone who's going to watch this, if ever I come and ask for a job, please don't give it to me. I'm going to be terrible at it.
Okay. Cool. So you pitched the idea of record to Akshay. How did he take it? How did he respond to it?
He told, Tharun, I don't know if it's a good idea or not, but let's try something.
Okay. And how did you go about validating after that?
So what I did, I randomly cold text people in Slack. I was part of a lot of communities.
Okay.
The product management group I was part of, a lot of student groups.
How did you discover those groups?
So first, Appraised put me on Slack for their internal communication. From Slack, I discovered a lot of communities. I found out Product Folks. Product Folks was a very active product management community. I found Blue Learn. It was a very active student community. I found a lot of coding groups on Telegram, on WhatsApp. People are starting these communities.
Yeah.
I simply randomly cold DM a lot of people.
Okay.
Told, hey, I'm trying to have an idea. Would you like to chat? I didn't ask them, is this a problem that they have, or is it a solution that they're looking for? I didn't ask that. I had certain hypotheses with me.
Okay.
All this came from my learning from product management. How should you tune an idea into a proper product? You should come up with a hypothesis, go and talk to users first. Don't talk about the problem or the solution. Ask few questions, let them validate.
Yeah.
So this happened. Like, a lot of people have blocked me.
Okay.
A lot of people, like, they'll give me time for meetings and they'll not show up. It all happens, right?
Yeah.
It's
all part of the process.
Part of the process. Those are the first early times of rejections. Trying living with rejections. So you'll not believe me. 80% of the people that I spoke to who gave me their time validated the 80% of the hypothesis that we had. A very good hypothesis that I still don't know what career that I should pursue. I'm doing a lot of stuff. I'm doing like these courses from Coursera. I'm watching these YouTube videos. I did 2 internships. Now, what career should I pursue? They were clueless. We got a lot of validation. That is when decided, okay, the idea of record is this. An individual will come and input all their data. It was a very structured dashboard where you come and give all your work experience, the courses and you did from Coursera, Udemy, because they're all very active among these people who are in the age group of 18 to 25. Yeah. And whatever certifications that they did, they got, the YouTube videos that they are watching. If you get all these inputs, we'll turn them into skill badges.
So they manually input the kind of videos they're watching and all of that.
Yeah. Okay. It was a very manual process back then. Okay. We found a way to convert these into skill badges.
Okay.
So this was a very raw idea. We didn't know if people use it. One big problem that we had, we didn't have a tech co-founder.
Okay.
Like, I was very much open to give up. Like, I actually decided, okay, this is the equity split that we're going to have between us. We decided we have enough data to go and start building the product. Not only the 300 people that we spoke to.
Okay. We spoke to 300 people.
300 people. I have documented everything.
Okay.
On an Excel sheet. So this happened. I read a lot of research articles. I found the trend called skill-based hiring going to happen in India. The wave of skill-based hiring happening in India.
So all of the macroeconomic trends also?
They are all aligned with us.
Okay.
The other companies that are trying to start up in the space were very, very similar to us. So when someone did close to water that you're doing, we found it very happy.
Did it not scare you?
No, it definitely did not scare me. I found I would not say competitor, someone who's doing similar, who's just starting up, I found very high because they gave me enough validation to do something that I want.
Yeah.
I don't know if they did enough research, but that gave me validation. So this let's set up the company. Between these two, I told my friends I quit my job. The first kind of harsh criticism came from my friends. Those 3 months period, it was very hard for me. Because the only people that you go and talk to about your idea are your friends.
Yeah.
But the first people who are going to disprove your idea are your friends. One, they all ask very basic questions like how are you going to make money? Is it a viable business? I didn't even think through that point.
Yeah.
All I want to do is solve this problem using this product. Making money is an eventual byproduct. Because I have consumed enough technology related stuff where people say you get users, then revenue comes in, then you so maybe my friends were not exposed to that, but it was very hard for me to convince them about the idea. My anxiety peaked. Like I said, that 3 months of runway ended. I didn't find a way to make money. So
this was like after you quit Deck Rooster.
Yes.
I'm trying to plot the timeline.
Yes.
So from April, May, June is when you ran those 300 user interviews, and then you came up with the ideation of the first version of the product. Okay. So have you built the product in the 3 months?
No, we didn't build. We are trying to find a tech co-founder.
Okay.
Spoke with a lot of people again. I spoke like 30-40 people. Hey, why don't you build us the tech? We'll give you equity in exchange. Maybe we'll pay you when you have money. All the common things that a non-tech founder will ask to a technical founder. So we did that. None of us wanted to work with us. One, we didn't have any proven track record. It's very obvious. Two, the people who are in college I spoke to, I found one common thing. Everyone want to complete their college and move to Bangalore. I don't know what, like it was very common across these people. They told I got a job in Bangalore, I want to move to Bangalore. I asked, at one point I became very curious, I asked them why. See Tharun, I'm in Coimbatore, I have nothing to do here. The city is a very boring city. Even if I want to do something, my parents are not going to allow me. But at Bangalore I have a lot of freedom, a lot of things to do. So I found the culture migrating towards Bangalore.
Yeah.
When I was speaking about this idea to my friends in Bangalore, they told you are not going to attract talent in Coimbatore. Come sit in Bangalore. In the next 6 months, you are going to build a product there. But I was very adamant to stay back in Coimbatore. So I think that's a very good decision if I look right now.
Okay.
Because our costs were low. I stayed with my parents. Akshay stayed with his parents. We didn't need much money for our own survival. So we didn't find a technical co-founder. I convinced one guy.
Okay.
He told, okay, I'll build you the product. So in exchange for some money.
Okay.
So I actually pulled in some money. We came with the first version. The first version.
How long did it take to build the first version?
It took a lot of time. It took like 6-7 months to come with the first version.
So that was after June.
Correct.
Okay.
Between all this stuff, I also did a very stupid decision. I decided to go and raise funds.
Very early on.
Okay. So I did my user interviews. I thought the user interviews was enough validation for me to go and raise funds. So from my experience from Deck Rooster, I put up a very, very aesthetically pleasing deck. Cold emailed like 200 plus people across the country and in the US. Got meetings from 80 of them. They all replied to my cold emails. People are very kind to reply. But none of us wanted to fund us. Because it was very obvious, we didn't have traction, we didn't have any track record. Why would people want to bet their money on us? But back then I didn't have that knowledge of why people didn't want to fund us. So I took it very personal at one point, but I figured out, okay, the problem is on us. We didn't have enough signal for them to throw money on us. So next time when we go back, we should have enough traction on our end, so the investor comes and bets on us. So we need not knock their door; they will come and knock our door. So we stopped raising funds. For example, when raising funds, I learned a lot. Every single day there would be a rejection from an investor. I would wake up, see a lot of rejection emails. Again, this is documented. All the people that I took meetings, I got emails, I have documented in Notion. For example, I sent the deck to Nitin Kamath of Zerodha. I sent it at 11 a.m. 11:33 he opened the email.
He's very fast in responding to emails. Yeah, even I got a response very quickly. Yeah,
I was fascinated. It was like a billionaire who runs the largest brokerage. What is the incentive for him to reply to me? He has zero incentive to reply to me. He replied to me in just half an hour. He had run to the deck for 2 minutes and 50 seconds. I sent a doc-send link. I was able to track his analytics. And he told Tharun, I'll put you in touch with my investment team. You can talk to them. He did that. I was like, okay, tomorrow this is what I should give back to the people that who are emailing me. So these are a few things that I learned from the fundraising journey. Fundraising happened, we stopped fundraising altogether. Okay, let's build a product now. Let's do whatever. And over the course of time, the product was broken. It didn't work well. We didn't have a strong technology team. There was one person, he was very slow. He was going to a full-time job, coming in back and coding. We had all the decisions.
Tech co-founder you hired, you gave him some money and some equity.
Yeah.
Okay, was it on paper or
no? It was
registered that content. No, it was just a verbal agreement.
Yeah. It's a verbal agreement. So then we decided, okay, let's try to get some grants from Startup TN or Startup India. The easiest way to get the grant is startup seed fund from Startup India.
Okay.
To do that, you have to have a company registered. Neither I or actually had the money to register the company, but still we went ahead and did it. I don't know what conviction I had. So we registered the company, applied to all the grants in the country. We didn't get through any of them. There was a lot of process. We didn't get.
This happened in?
Again, this all happened between August and December of 2023.
Okay, while you were building the product.
Yeah.
Okay.
So 3 things were happening parallelly. Product was building. I was talking to investors. The company was
and then grants.
Correct. So all this was happening parallelly. I was talking to potential hires as well. Left, right, and center I was rejected. Once I got a panic attack. The amount of rejections that I got, I was not able to handle it. I got a panic attack. I was not able to handle it. None of my friends knew that I got it. But somehow I survived that phase. I still don't know how I survived it, but when I look back, I can say, okay, you did well back then. That's how I can say. So nothing worked out. We stopped fundraising. We stopped applying for grants. All that we did was, okay, this B2C model is not going to work out. The only way that we can build the product is through customer funding us. For the customer to fund us, we have to be a B2B company. I and Akshay thought through what can we do with the same model that we can become a B2B company.
Okay.
That was the only.
This was while you were still building the product.
Yes.
And you were not launched to the market yet, and you pivoted at that given point of time. And B2B as in what was the offering?
So the first step that we took was, okay, where most of our users are, they're in college. Why not have college as our customers? Again, that was a mistake. I actually spoke.
Was the pivot itself a mistake?
Trying to find college as our customers was the mistake.
Okay.
Trying to go B2B was the right track. But again, having college as a primary customers was the mistake.
Okay.
We thought if we can close a college, you'll get a lot of users, you'll get a lot of money. But when we went and spoke to colleges, they were not ready to pay. The friction was very high for them to pay. They had to go to a lot of process. They want to trust us. They want to see the product demo, which we didn't have. We only had Figma prototypes. Yeah. And that was again a mistake. We wasted another 3-4 months in doing that. The needle didn't move. We didn't have any users. Nothing happened. I don't know what we are going to do. And then we finally, the 2024 happened, eventually 2024 happened. And actually we were determined at least in this year we have to do some revenues using the product. Let's do B2B. And then we slightly started looking at different lens. Okay, instead of colleges, where are most of our users at? We found most of our users were at upskilling companies. A lot of companies like who are running cohort based learning, 2-month, 3-month accelerator programs. A lot of our users were there. Why not we find a problem for them, try to solve it for them, so eventually we can solve for skill based hiring.
Okay.
So at the core we are very determined, okay, skill based hiring is the trend. The legacy systems suck at offering solutions for skill based hiring. Let's be that platform, but how do we arrive there? To arrive at skill-based hiring, we need to have a lot of mechanisms in place to reach that. So we thought this upskilling companies was one entry point. So, and then what can we offer to them? What problem can we solve to them so that they can become our customers?
Okay.
That angle we thought.
Okay.
But most of 2024 were wasted in spending time talking to colleges.
Okay.
I literally spoke to all colleges in Coimbatore, outside Coimbatore, in the Congo belt mostly. None of them seemed to be ready to pay. We literally waste our time, money, and efforts.
So how did you keep the company floating up? Were you hiring at that point in time, or was it only 3 people?
Only 3 people. I was still doing some kind of freelancing.
Okay.
Like what happened, interestingly, my experience on Deck Rooster somehow spread across Coimbatore to a Tamil Panel event.
Okay.
Someone reached out to me and offered to say, Tharun, why not build as a pitch deck? I told, see, I don't have enough experience, but let me try. I came up with the narrative, they were very happy.
Okay.
So I thought, okay, until we make money, I'll use this as a freelancing to do pitch deck. So I didn't do any sales. The word of mouth spread. I got a lot of projects from people who want to do pitch decks.
Okay. How much do you typically charge, and we'll not keep it?
Yeah, that's fine. I typically charge 50K per deck.
Okay. And it's how long is that process?
So it typically takes like 4 to 6 weeks for the deck to complete. Yeah.
Okay.
So I was doing the narrative, Akshay was doing the design. So both of us earned equally well. We had enough money to float the company, ourselves, everything. So until today, I did 50 plus decks.
And this is only through the word of mouth from the entrepreneur event.
What happened? I didn't work with directly the clients. All the pitch deck agencies wanted a consultant who delivered good projects for them.
Nice.
So again, that was a B2B model to me. So these pitch deck agencies paid me, so I delivered projects for them. So doing that, I didn't do a lot of outreach asking for projects. That was not needed. So this happened on one side, and Record was trying to we're trying to survive. That's it. We didn't try to scale. We didn't try to we were just trying to figure out. We were still in the idea maze. We didn't have clarity how the product is going to come out.
Okay.
How the product is going to look like, but we are very sure what you're going to solve for.
Did the product development process change when you pivoted from B2C to B2B?
Yeah, it changed.
The product offering would change. The product journey would change.
Everything changed. We have to look from very different lens.
How did the co-founder take it? The technical co-founder?
He was very pissed off. Because we changed all the designs, we changed the requirements. That
just pisses them off like anything.
Yeah. Right? Once if we change a small requirements, these technical people they get to the nerves, right? So it pissed them off. Like we had a lot of arguments, but for some reason he offered to build as long as we
were still paying him.
Yeah, we are paying. Offered to build. So that happened. We didn't really come out of the idea maze. One year into the journey, we had enough validation from some users, but we are still circling inside that idea maze. You can ask me, when do you think we came out the idea maze? When we built out the B2B product, where we built like an ecosystem. For upskilling companies, for candidates, and for recruiters. When we build that ecosystem, that is when we had enough clarity. Okay, we came out the idea maze.
Okay. So when did the clarity of you building that ecosystem arrive?
It came very recently. It came in Jan 2025, or maybe December 2025.
Okay. How did you arrive at that process?
So to reach there, this colleges didn't work out. Meanwhile, TANSEED happened. TANSEED is this grant program run by Startup TN. So they will give you 10 lakhs in exchange for 3%.
Okay. So how does one get through TANSEED?
So what happens? You have to first apply through the website. They run all the promotional campaigns to spread the word.
Is it all year round?
No. Not all
window for application.
Yeah, it's a window for application. They have like 2-month window.
Okay.
So I first applied on June 2025.
2024.
No, sir, 2024. That was my first submitting my application. Until November 2024, I got my first. In 2 months I got my first in-person meeting. Went and pitched them. We got through. We luckily got through. Had TANSEED not happened, we would have shut down. So TANSEED was confirmed on September 2024. So all the 30 startups across Tamil Nadu were given the grant.
Okay.
We are one of them. Maybe we are like the 1 or 2 technology company to have the grant.
Okay.
Everyone are either doing a D2C company or some kind of a physical good.
So what's the process of TANSEED like? You apply through the website, you showcase them your deck and the product. Correct. Is there a demo that you have to show of the product?
Yes.
Okay, so you need a working prototype.
Yeah, not necessarily a working prototype. It could be a Figma file.
It could be a Figma file. Okay, so it can, so somebody with the idea and just the initial phase can also
True.
apply.
Yeah.
Okay, and what happens after you apply through the website?
So after you apply through the website, there are 2 rounds of online interview happens.
Okay, and how long would it take? As in, from the application, when would the first interview land in?
For me, it took 2 months to get the first interview.
Okay, so they typically turn around in 2 months.
Correct.
Okay, so you get the first interview, and what's the first interview like?
It's more of it's a 10-minute window.
Okay.
It's just 10 minutes.
Okay.
All the startups will be there. They'll have panelists. In 10 minutes, you have to convey your idea in a very compelling way.
Okay. It's like all of the startups will be present in all startups.
Yes.
Front of all startups. Yeah. Okay.
It's a Zoom video, so they let in that particular startup.
Zoom breakout. Yeah.
So that happens, and then in another month or two, they'll have another online session.
Okay.
A different panelist will come. They'll assess, and then the third one will be in person in Chennai.
In Chennai.
In Startup Chain's office.
Okay.
So
where's the office in Chennai?
It's in Nandanam.
Okay.
It's in the Chennai Metro Rail building. It's the 10th floor.
Okay.
So the transit people, like the startup team people, like I think they're forward thinking people. Not just they funded on us, but how they look at the ecosystem. I'm telling the initiatives that they bring in, the perks and benefits they try to give us. In that way, they are very, very forward thinking people. I don't think any other ecosystem in India is as active as startup team.
Okay.
Any other state's ecosystem? I don't think so.
Okay.
They're very active.
Okay. What are the perks like, and can you walk us through the in-person interview? What happened in the in-person interview?
Okay. So in in-person interview, there are like 50 startups called on a span of 2 days. There are like big panelist of people, like 12 people were there. So everyone gets a chance to pitch for 15 minutes.
15 minutes.
15 minutes.
Okay.
So the the PPT will be run on a projector. Yeah. You have to run through it. So for some reason, I pitched it very well. I mastered the pitch. I did a lot of things. So these people, after the pitch, they ask a lot of questions. The questions were very, very they were very in depth. They were not very, very basic.
So
questions.
they grill you.
Yeah, they grilled us. For some, those few panelists, they were very deep inside the industry that we are operating in. They knew upskilling, they knew how skilling works, they knew how recruitment works. So they had all knowledge for them to question us. So I was able to answer that. So we did that. It's a 15-minute session.
So 15 minutes you pitch and plus 15 minutes of the questions.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that happens. So again, we all come back. Another in 1 month, they will give you the results.
Okay. And then after that, how long would it take for them to wire the money, for the money to come into your bank account?
Okay. On September, they confirmed that we are qualified. Yeah.
Okay.
For the money to come in, the documentation process took us very long.
Okay.
By February 1, 2025, we got the money.
Okay. So it takes another 3-4 months.
That too not 100%. It's a tranche of 50%.
Okay. So it's going to be 5 lakhs first and then another
Correct.
5 lakhs.
It's based on milestones.
Okay. And what are it's based on milestones?
Correct.
Okay.
Milestones, we have to provide them. So these are the milestones that I think that I can achieve with the grant.
Okay. And is there a timeline for those milestones?
Yes, it's 3-month timeline.
So when the money is wired in Feb, then they give you a 3-month timeline. Correct. For another 5 lakhs to
Correct.
Put in your account.
Yeah.
Okay. And what's the paperwork in between, like from September to Feb?
So paperwork is a very huge process. So they have like a set of formalities. So it's a share transfer happens. So we are pledging them 3%.
3%. Yeah.
So since it's an equity linked grant, a lot of paperwork happens. We have to actually have to give them half of our shares. They have to accept it. The agreement should be signed. The share transfer should happen. Both physical and MCA should approve. So lot of back and forth. At the point to which IN actually decided, let's build a product first to solve this problem.
Okay.
And then let's come back to record. That was the kind of friction that we had. And
is the process quite laborious, and how responsive is Startup TN for that?
Startup is very responsive. Since they handle a lot of people,
it becomes a little tedious for them to handle.
I'll never complain on whatever that they are doing. So it's the nature of the process, I would say.
Okay.
Transit was happening. On the other end, Nikhil Kamal's WTF fund was happening. So we applied to the cohort 1, C1.
Yeah.
We got to 3 rounds, and in the 4th round was an in-person interview. Yeah.
Okay.
I am a big fan of Zerodha. Not the not the company, the culture, the company that they have built, their philosophy towards life. I'm a very big fan of that. So I somehow believed getting into WTF fund will change the course of record or the mentorship and access to people that we'll get from them.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So we are very confident in that. So
How much does WTF fund invest?
So WTF fund is a non-dilutive grant. They give 20 lakhs.
Okay.
So they don't take any equity from us.
And how do they keep traction and how do they benefit?
So what happens in the follow-on round? They will either put the first check.
Okay. So they lead the next.
Yeah.
Okay.
Provided we do well, they lead the first.
Okay.
Yeah, they do that. So I and Akshay are very confident with WTF fund. We thought we are going to get it because that was the conviction that we had when we pitching and the positive response that we got from them. On the final round, they bring in a panelist from an outsider. Apart from their own fund, they bring a panelist who's an expert in that industry.
Okay.
So
that panelist will change for every different startup.
Yeah.
Okay.
So for us, they brought in someone who was running a tech company back that time. So a lot of questions that we didn't get through. The day I got a rejection email from WTF fund, for the next 7 days, he was just sitting inside my bedroom doing nothing. It could look like little child's play, but I was really not able to do anything. I was sitting simply inside my bedroom, not want to do anything. I didn't eat much, go outside much, rethink a lot of things in my life.
Did the process of WTF fund made you rethink the process of record? Would that change the way you approach record? Did it?
No.
Okay.
Yeah. Because on the other hand, we were getting a lot of validation from our users.
So did you start acquiring users when you were doing?
Yeah, our B2C product was ready back then.
Okay.
Only that we are not making money out of it.
Okay. So you had
little traction we had.
Okay.
The first set of users were the people that I went and got validation from.
So 300 people you did the first interviews. Okay.
So what we did after getting validation, we put out a landing page, asked them to join on a wait list to check if there's something that they find it very curious to have the product or not.
Okay.
So on set of they were the first set of we send the emails and why don't you try the product. It's very basic at the moment. Why don't you give us a feedback? One feature that we built, people found it very interesting. We call that YouTube to course converter. So a feature where, so what our users told, Tharun, most of my upskilling happens from YouTube.
Okay.
But I don't have any credibility or validation to the stuff that I'm learning from YouTube.
Okay.
So we found it very interesting. What we did, you can simply copy and paste a YouTube link or playlist, only educational videos, paste into record. It will convert the entire video or playlist into a course, fully structured course.
Okay.
So you can complete the course from record, take an assessment. It's an AI generated assessment in real time. Okay. Not two users will get the same assessment at any point in time.
Okay.
How would that be done? Because the questions will be from the video itself.
Okay.
Video to transcript to an assessment.
Okay, so this is your product?
Yes.
End to end?
Yeah, but still it's a YouTube video.
Okay.
It's a YouTube video embedded on record.
Okay.
So they can take the assessment. Once they take the assessment, they will get two things. One, they'll be certified from their course creator, who's the YouTube creator.
Okay.
Two, they'll get skill badges from record.
Fabulous.
So what I'm trying to say is you can also create a career just by upskilling from YouTube, which a lot of people are doing today. All the good programs that I know, self-taught, their primary source of learning was some kind of YouTube channel.
Yeah.
All the traffic the YouTube channels get come from these people.
Nice.
So we found it very interesting.
So how do you go about building that back-end product of it throwing an assessment after the YouTube video?
So a lot of engineering happened.
Okay.
First, we didn't find a way how we are going to create assessments out of these videos.
Yeah.
So we got like 3-4 interns from a college nearby.
Were they all paid?
No, they were all unpaid. They worked with us for 6 months.
Okay.
They are still with us. Really smart people, driven people that we have met. They found a way that they can convert these YouTube videos into transcript in real time, and then Gen AI came, everything AI came, and these transcripts can be instantly generated into MCQ questions. They were able to set down the difficulty of these questions. They were able to pull out the skill badges that they can earn from each video. A lot of engineering happened. After a point, YouTube started rate limiting our IP because we are getting some good traffic.
So there's a considerable amount of product work that has happened.
Yes, definitely.
Right? When and how was it like led by that technical co-founder that you're saying? And a lot of product iterations happen when in the journey? Like this entire B2C offering that you provided, right?
Okay. All this we had written our PRD.
Okay.
I and Akshay are very clear. These are the features that we are going to build. the technical co-founder built like 60 to 70% of whatever that I'm saying.
Okay.
But it was still broken. And then we had a team in-house, a few external consultants helped us. So together we are able to put the.
How did you fund all of this process?
Meanwhile, transit happened.
Okay.
So we are very sure we are going to get transit, but we don't know when we are going to get the money. We went ahead and hired a few consultants to mentor our interns. So they helped us build a few areas of our product. They did a very good job in doing that. Mostly Gen was like, we didn't want people to find profile building a very hard thing to do. You just keep on upskilling, the right opportunity will come to you. So that's what we want to remove a lot of friction. People again use our one-click feature a lot. They did not change their font, style, anything. Single click, everything will be generated, even the description, about section, everything. So a lot of product thought process went inside.
Okay.
A lot of credit will surely go to Akshay first and then me. Each like both of us have very good product thinking. Each click on the product was very gamified. Where should each button go? What should the copy go inside the product? So we engineered it very well. So the developers found it very easy to build the product once everything was put into place.
How did you hire these people?
So the first hire came from Akshay's referral.
Okay.
His name is Tilak. So he's one of the most driven people that is a 20-year-old kid. I would not say he's a kid, but a little guy being very driven. I haven't seen. He was more inclined to the company than I am today. Like, he takes care of the sales, he takes care of operations, he makes sure the product works. And then Tilak brought in a lot of other developers. So that's how it happened. So today they are on a paid stipend. Back then none of them were.
They're still in college?
They just completed college.
Okay.
We'll surely hire all of them. 4 people will surely hire them, because right now they know the product in and out. All the lines of code, like they have written it. They know the product in and out right now. Enough. They have engineered a lot inside the product. They know when it will break, when it will not break. So it's best to have them. So interns who contribute to the product without expecting anything in return turn to be a full-time software developers.
Yeah.
So
they tend to be treasured in the company, right?
Correct. All these people didn't want to go to Bangalore. They didn't go to Chennai. At one point, they quit placements in college, saying, "I'm working in a startup called Record." They felt very proud in working for us. Working with us is the right thing to say, not for us. Working with us. I always keep telling them there are high chances tomorrow we can shut down and go. I can't promise you anything in return. They are like, we know, Anna, we know. We are here because we love the mission. Because they still believe in skills over anything, over pedigree or any other vanity metrics. So we all share a similar mission. So that's how the hiring happened.
Okay. And how did this cut to, how does ecosystem that you said, right, in the B2C?
And then a few investors that I spoke to earlier, they always ask something called, what is your moat? How can someone not recreate it? Or how can an existing company cannot recreate? That too, with Gen AI, anyone can, in a 2-week sprint, they can build any feature or anything. And that is when we realized, if we remain in singular product, someone is always going to build whatever that you're going to build. They're always going to have access to better capital, better talent than us. We will lose out. So what is a way that we can build an ecosystem, still trying to solve our skill-based hiring? That is when we decided, okay, we have multiple stakeholders. We have upskilling companies. We have universities who are giving us a lot of users. And then we have our core product called, where you can earn skill badges and issue skill badges. Let all that create an ecosystem. And finally, skill-based hiring can take place in our recruiter module. So right now, Record is like a suite of products. Each stakeholder has a product on a different pricing, a different offering.
Charge your customers for upskilling on the platform.
Correct.
And you also charge your providers, upskilling course providers also to be on the platform. And you also charge your recruiters eventually.
We do that.
Okay.
Only people who can access the product for free are our users. The YouTube feature is free. The resume building feature is free.
Okay.
We also built an AI interview agent to practice interviews. That is free.
Okay.
But still on a limited time. A limited number of users.
So is it like a freemium model?
Yes, a freemium model.
Okay.
So when they come through an upskilling company, they can get all features accessed.
Accessed.
If they come direct, they get only limited features. So when we spoke to a lot of upskilling companies. We found they were issuing certificates. And recruiters were finding it very difficult to find the talent based on certificates. Because certificates are very large, like they are very broad, generic. If a full stack development certificate, what is full stack? Are you good at front end? Are you good at back end? You'll never know that. What we did, okay, instead of just certificates, we'll help you issue skill badges to your learners.
Okay.
So we built a mechanism where these upskilling companies can issue skill badges to their learners. So that happened in the ecosystem. So everything converged into one place. So that's how we came with the idea of the ecosystem. One reason that we built the ecosystem, because I am a very big believer of the network effects. Where 2 or 3 stakeholders, they become part of the network effects
ecosystem, and then they
correct. Once we achieve critical mass, it will be very difficult for anyone to fall out of that place. I strongly believe that. Because today at the pace Gen AI is, any AI model is growing, a singular product will always be eaten by someone else. For example, Google yesterday killed, or today it killed a lot of products with its one release. People say that we are always at mercy of OpenAI releasing their next keynote. So we don't want to be that startup.
So where is Record today?
So Record today is, we have like 5,000, 6,000 users on the platform, all organically. We have like 8 paying customers, 25 plus recruiters hiring across multiple roles, and 4 to 5 universities using the product.
4 to 5 universities?
Yeah, colleges in Coimbatore using the product.
Okay, and they pay you?
Universities don't pay us for now. They are on a free trial. All of them are free trial.
Okay.
The only people who pay us are the recruiters and the upskilling companies right now.
Okay. How many upskilling companies are?
Like I said, 8 upskilling companies.
Okay.
So every month they do like 400, 500 people. They upskill 400, 500 people across marketing, digital marketing, tech, DevOps. Some people are also upskill people for getting to VCs. So the value prop for them is, instead of issuing certificates, you can issue skill badges, and then we'll also be able to do your upskilling to employment pipeline. We have built that infrastructure. So right now, Record is an skill badging infrastructure company where people come to issue skill badges, earn skill badges. So skill badge hiring solves eventually.
Awesome. Are you making revenue right now?
Right now, yes. We have very minimal revenues. I would not say pre-revenue, we have very minimal revenues. We have contract with all these upskilling companies. So
what is the model like? What do you charge for?
Okay, for the upskilling company, flat fee. It's 19 rupees per login.
19 per login?
99 rupees per
99
login.
rupees for every
user they come.
So let's say I have about 400, 500 students under me. I pay 99 for each student.
Correct. No. It's a one-time fee. So it's a pay-as-you-go model.
Okay.
Every time someone buys your course, they'll also be given access to Record.
Okay. And they get access to the entire suite of Record.
Correct. They get access to entire that, and we go a step further and help them with the placement or putting them the right job opportunities through recruiter module.
Okay.
So this is the value prop. Upskilling companies find it very intriguing. So it's 900 rupees per, and we are like 50 to 70k of MRR.
Okay.
Because we just launched this module, that what are they telling today, we just launched in Feb. We just launched it in an 8-day sprint.
Okay.
This entire product that I tell you, we just launched in an 8-day sprint. That was very good experience. Day and night, all we did was code, talking to users, and ship. We did that. We even before launching, we got like 2-3 customers who found it very interesting. They decided to pay. That all happened. So yes, this is well recorded. But what I would say is, to arrive here, it took us a lot of time. It took us a lot. If you can ask, was capital a problem? No. Capital was definitely like the 3rd or 4th problem.
Okay.
The first problem is, the quicker that we come out of the idea maze, the sooner that we can know what we are going to do. For us, it took a long time to come out of the idea maze, because we are experimenting with a lot of stuff repeatedly. So one of my well-wishers would say, Tharun, you are always in an analysis paralysis. You keep on trying stuff. Even before that works or not, you go and try different stuff. So that was surely a mistake that we did. But that is what made us today the product that we are building.
Okay.
So it's a mistake, expensive mistake, but
would you say it was worth it?
It's definitely was worth it.
Raising funds?
Yes, we are. Like, At one point, we decided not to raise funds. From the experience back in 2023, well, let's not raise funds. We'll deploy all our capital. I put all my life savings. Akshay put all his savings. Both of us know both of our bank accounts are empty. And then after a point, we decided, okay, the product is ready now. We have enough traction to show. Not much big of traction, enough traction to show. Why not? The only problem that we have is distribution problems. Taking the product to enough people. That is the only problem that we have right now. We thought, okay, we are in a very good position to raise funds. And I spoke to like only 2 people. One of my mentors and well-wishers told, okay, Tharun, I will lead your round. If we can bring in 2 or 3 other investors, your round would be close. So with his support, we are raising funds right now.
How much are you typically raising?
So we are raising somewhere around 2 CR.
Okay.
So we are not doing a valuation round.
Okay.
It's an uncapped valuation.
Okay.
Because we are still at the risk of shutting down anytime. It could be a sales problem or it could be distribution problem. So we are still at the risk. That risk is still not factored in. Unless we have enough distribution, that risk is still not factored.
How do you mitigate that risk?
Only thing to do is have enough distribution. Do enough organic marketing instead of paid marketing. I'm not a big fan of paid marketing. The sooner we go up, the faster we fall down is what paid marketing does to your startup. You can exceptionally great product, but once you stop doing paid ads, people will not come to your product. Because the users that we have right now, they all came from word of mouth referrals. And that worked. If you can,
is that growing?
It's growing, but not at the pace that we wanted. I want at least 20 to 25% of
growth every
month growth. But that's happening only less than 10%.
Okay.
We are still trying to incentivize users inside our platform to go and refer a lot of people. But the K factor worked really well in the starting. Every new user we got, go and brought in 3 new users to us. We found it very interesting. He had zero interest. So we all found it very interesting. So every time that we think it's over, we get some kind of validation from customers. Every time I actually think, are we getting tired? Because startups don't shut down when we run out of money, right? We only shut down when we get exhausted, when the founder gets exhausted. So every time I actually feel that we get few validation from our customers.
And that keeps you going.
Yeah, that keeps us going. Still, we are not at the place that where we want to be or where we should be. Still, my mentors and all the well-wishers who work closely with me tell, Tharun, you have a great product, but your product is not making enough money for you to sustain for the next few years that you want to be. So I'm just delaying death right now. Right now, that's what I'm trying to do. How long can we survive before we achieve critical mass?
And how it's a complicated position to be in.
Correct.
Right? And how does one prepare themselves for this mindset? Because it's a very demanding mindset to be in.
Yeah.
Right. And you said you are delaying death for your startup, right? And how does one typically be in this position day in and day out?
One, being irrationally optimistic of the future. At the same time, being a little delusional. We are always going to make it. The thin line between delusion and optimistic about the future is needed, plus a lot of resilience. Because it takes a different level of strength to survive early stage startups. Not only that, what are we are doing, what are you did, what are the people into it. Most of the stories don't come out. People don't want to show their vulnerable side. The reason that I'm being very vulnerable today is because tomorrow someone could say, okay, an idiot like Tharun can do whatever that he is doing today. I'm a much smarter person than Tharun. What is that I can achieve in my life? He will have that confidence. So that,
very well said.
So it takes a lot of resilience and not giving up until we have death. So even tomorrow we could shut down. That is the position that every early stage startups in. So that is one. Very optimistic of the future and not trying to give up. Because the number of bad things that happens in early stage startup, we undermine the number of bad things that happens and overmine the number of good things that happens. Because when we start up, we all think it's an easy way to build the product. We get users, we get an exit star, we get a
definitely does not happen like that.
We get punched left, right, and center. The number of rejections we have to handle with that. If you're going to give up on the 100th rejection, then there's no point in doing the startup. Because all it takes is just one yes from a customer, from an enterprise customer or from an investor to keep you alive for the next year or two.
Yeah.
So that's it. So what prepared me for that is that the team sports that I played in my childhood and the gym that I go regularly is what prepared me. For you, it could be a different thing.
Yeah.
For someone else, it could be a different thing. Someone could inherently be a very, very resilient person. I am not inherently resilient person, but I train myself to be in that way. Another thing, most people would not start. I have seen some of the brilliant people around me. They don't want to do a startup. I ask them why. They think a lot of stuff. I tell you are a very rational person. That is why you don't want to do a startup.
Yeah.
If you are an irrational idiot like me, you will definitely do it. So that's the different. Like, Peter Thiel famously said, right? Intelligence is rare, but still courage is in shorter supply than genius.
Yeah.
I'm surrounded by a lot of genius people, but they all lack a little bit of courage. If they are little courageous, they could surely make a dent in the world. So that's what, like, all this might seem to be a motivational speech, but I surely think everyone in their 20s should try to do a startup and experience all the bad things that happens to them, so that at least in their 30s they'll be like, okay, I tried to do something, it didn't work out. Today I have enough experience and wisdom to not make the mistakes again.
Do you recommend starting up more than being in a relationship and having a breakup in 20s?
Definitely yes. If you can ask me which should you go through first, definitely a breakup, one or two.
And that helps you to start up?
Yeah. that will mentally prepare you, and that will put you in a lot of better position. So between, like, you know how hard it is to cut down body fat from 25 to 10. It's really hard. Between cutting down body fat and between doing a startup, I still believe doing the startup is the hardest thing that I have ever done. Because the startup is not where I want to be at. But even now I believe that is the hardest thing that I ever tried.
Okay.
So it's one of the most difficult phases to go through in life, because all the external factors that falls upon us, internally will be prepared. The external factors that the tech will break, someone wants to leave the company, someone wants to hide their salary, so customer ghosts, an investor goes. So I don't think it's a very easy thing to. So yes, the only thing that I think I can do is wake up every single day. It's a very uncertain thing, right? What's in front of us, but wake up every single day, sit on the desk and work. What I can do, talk to my customers, make the product much better, make sure sales happens, make sure my users are happy. That's what I can do. Regardless of what outcome we are going to get, that's the only best practice that you can do. Consistently getting up and sitting to work. Maybe one day we could yield the rewards of whatever that we are doing, or we don't get that. Like, right? 99% of probability that we are going to die tomorrow. I know that my team knows it. The investor who's going to put in money knows it. But there is just 1% chance that we are going to get an outsized return. My customers are going to be happy. A lot of hiring can take place. Very good, skilled and talented people will be notified. As a byproduct of that, the business will do well. And when the business does well, we all
benefit.
We all get our rewards.
She said you significantly shifted your focus to distribution right now, right? So what key measures are you taking right now? And how do you think of distribution today?
So I believe that founder-led content is a very good practice.
Yeah. You spoke about this. Yeah.
So people buy from people. They don't buy your product, they buy for the person that you are.
Yeah.
So every great product is a natural extension of the founder's personality.
Yeah.
So how good I am a person is the same as how good the product that we built. So when I go and talk to people, when people recognize me and then recognize the product, they're obviously going to buy it. So doing a lot of founder-led content, going and telling people, hey, this is what we are solving for. We'll do a lot of shift in how hiring takes place, how talents are recognized. So this is what it is. Founder-led content organically, plus talking lot in the blogs, lot of in front of the camera is what is going to work, is what I believe.
Awesome.
Creating a lot of distribution, be it on LinkedIn, on YouTube. A lot of impression matters. First, let people know that we exist. Most of our sales problems are distribution problems. Not enough people know that we exist today. Once if you can solve for that, then the product will speak for itself. Awesome. Gone are those days then where they say build, they will come. Today anyone can build. You and I can sit and vibe code a product today. We can do a calorie tracking app, gym tracking app, we can do. But how will the people know that we are existing? So that is the problem that you have to solve for. So people funnily say that, right? First time founders optimize for the product, second time founders optimize for distribution.
Because they learn it the hard way that distribution is a better problem and a bigger problem to crack, right?
Correct. So, but people who have enough distribution, I think they don't have the knack to create better products. So I recently wrote this where all the content creators have enough distribution, but they are running in search of products. All the founders have good product, but they are running in search of distribution. So if that can converge, a very good content creator come up with a great product, or a very good founder can crack distribution, that's where
the magic happens.
Sure, that's where everything happens.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Tharun, for this. So I am building this community for early stage founders and early stage hustlers and all of that. So what would you tell to someone who's starting today? What piece of advice?
Maybe I wish what someone had told me is don't think too much before starting is one. And then the first people that you have to talk to about your idea is the people that you're solving for, not that of your friends and family. So before do this, someone if they want something to, first thing they have to have the courage to go and show up. So all of startup success boils down to having the courage to fail publicly. So do you have the courage to do that? So if they have enough courage, have courage. That's what I would say. If tomorrow I am dead, I don't believe in the concept of legacy, but if I'm dead, if someone wants to see what was Tharun known for, I would say if I'm known for courage, I'll be much better, happier person.
Absolutely.
So anyone wants to start tomorrow, forget about everything, forget about your talent, your background, have a little bit courage and go and take the plunge. That's what I would say, because startups are a great level playing field. Your customers don't mind if you come from a rich background or you are very poor. All the network can be sold on media, but what really matters is that can you solve problems for your customers. So very level. Did you come from Harvard or did you come from a tier 3 college in outskirts of Chennai? That all doesn't matter. Or even if you don't go to college, all matter. Anyone from both backgrounds, can they come and solve a problem hard enough? To do that, have the courage to start.
Amazing. So looking back at it, so you've done this for the past 3-4 years, and since your college, second year, right? Since you start the first rental marketplace, if you have to look back, what does beginnings mean to you?
What does beginnings mean to me?
Yeah.
Beginnings, like, it's the harshest phase that I have been in, but a lot of mistakes, but it's the most wisest that I have gotten ever. That's what beginnings mean to me. Like, if we can't skip that part, everyone has to go through that cycle though. Something that you can't skip, you can't try to bypass, you can't take it light. So that's what beginnings mean to us. Like, if I can erase the mistakes of my past, I will lose the wisdom of my present. So that's what I think beginnings are about. Doing a lot of mistakes, trying not to give up. So it's a very personal space to be in. Like, not a lot of people have this privilege of going through this emotional roller coaster cycle. A good thing, you can control it. You can decide if you want to begin or not. He can decide if you want to begin or not. So it's a very, very personal thing to win. So everyone, at least once, they have to go through this. Like, if you can, if you can see in hindsight, a lot of people will say, "Hey, I did this, I succeeded in this," but you don't try that because it's a hard thing to do. People come and say this. I tried YouTube, I succeeded, but I will not encourage you to try YouTube.
Yeah.
It's a very, very elitist mindset, is what I would say. Had someone said the same to them, they would not be the person that they are today. Everyone should try their hands, get dirty, and figure it out if they want to do it or not on their own. If someone tomorrow comes and asks me, Tharun, should I do a startup? I would say yes, you should do a startup. How and what, I don't know. But you should definitely do a startup. That beginning is what will open a lot of
avenues.
Yeah, in your life. The people that you meet, the better person that you become. You really know who you can trust in your life or not. So all that, the beginnings is what happens in it. So because tomorrow growth happen, we can go to anywhere, I can shut down and stay at home. But the beginnings are a very, very beautiful place to be in. It's like one day it's beautiful and the same day it's not so beautiful. It's a very gloomy day to be.
Yeah.
I famously said this, like, if you are not getting rejected enough on a daily basis, you are not trying enough. So to measure the quality of the beginnings that you have, measure see how much rejections that you have, how much rejections that you get. It could be from your teammates, from hiring potential investors, customers, prospects. It could be anyone. Are you getting at least 5 rejections per day? If yes, you are moving in the right path.
Okay.
Your beginnings are it's
okay.
Yeah, it's a very good beginning. So for me, beginnings are a very beautiful place.
Thank you so much, Tharun. I had so much to take away from the conversation. Like the time flew for the past 2 hours, and there was so much of insights, and there's so much of conviction in what you're building. And thank you so much for joining the podcast today. Before I let you go, I have a little something from our team. I wish you the hand of history.
Thanks
on your shoulders.
Arun and team.
Thank you.
When you invited me, I didn't know I was qualified enough to do this.
But today, after speaking to you, everybody would understand why you're here and why you should be doing more of what you're doing. Right? Thank you so much for joining, and I hope to see you in greater heights.
Thank you. You were a great host. You were kind enough to listen to all the nonsense that I poured on you.
It's not nonsense, because we've all shared the same kind of journey, right? Because listening to you, I have done the same mistakes and I've learned it the hard way also, right? And I could draw so much parallels between my own life and how I navigated those situations. And we have very similar thoughts when it comes to convictions. And when he said beginnings are beautiful things, that's one of the catchphrases of the entire podcast. So thank you so much. I hope to see you, and I hope the fundraising happens really soon. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot. Thank you. Really nice of you having me here.
Thank you. Yes. Thank you for watching the podcast till the very end. Like I always say, beginnings are such delicate things, but begin you always must. I'll see you in the next one.